Caprices De Goya. This is Salvador Dali. So these are his take on Goya's work. Is that
Yes.
is that accurate?
Yeah, absolutely. What he's doing, again, he's the subversive redoing the subversive, as it were. He's obviously got this habit of doing. We saw the airplane earlier,
Yeah.
and we've also, we've also seen him do Dante as well. He did Alice in Wonderland. He did Don Quixote. He loved to do re-representations, and this one is particularly. This is probably the one that got him in the most trouble. This is the nobles. They were these idiots who pride themselves on their nobility let themselves go to laziness and superstition. They close off their understanding with padlocks, and they are grossly fed by ignorance. And the idea is that these nobility are victims of their own pride, living like madmen in their prisons of ignorance, unfit to play any role in the nation. Sure. And you can imagine in that day and time with royalty and all that, went over sort of like a lead balloon.
Yeah.
And it's great. Look at their brains are literally padlocked down, and
in their straight jacket.
Yeah, and there's a guy literally about to who looks like he's about to pull out their teeth, and they don't. They couldn't care less. They blithely sit there and await their doom.
Right.
And this is what got Goya into a lot of trouble, was the fact that he had no he really had no respect for the nobles, and it's got him into a great deal of trouble. And you can only imagine how much someone like Dali, who loved to stir the pot.
Yes.
And printmaking, in film. I mean, you pick it. There wasn't anything that Dali didn't put his finger in, and this is exactly the same thing, which is, oh, what a great opportunity.
Right.
And at the same time, still with a great deal of respect for his predecessor.
Certainly.
I mean, this is not this crazy artist saying, oh, this is what they did. This is terrible. Rather,
Right.
this is him saying how literally eternal these guys are,
Sure.
and that's what he believed, is that this sort of eternal of the art, and that there are these things from the past, and there are these things in the present, and there will be these things in the future. And he did want to fit in to a degree, which may seem odd.
Right, and a guy who worked with Walt Disney. It would seem like a very strange pairing for Dali, who typically does such dark artwork, with Walt Disney, known for bright, happy, funny.
Exactly, and perhaps even more importantly, not just bright, happy, and funny, but in the mainstream.
Yes, right.
And it's like he didn't decry the mainstream.
Sure.
Because there wasn't, and I mean, as wacky as he was, you can find any number of works that say, hey, no, I still want to be considered as as part of art. I'm not really not truly outsider art.
Yeah, and was he pretty well respected during his time?
Yes, I mean he lived also long enough to be accepted, and people really embraced in the post-war period.
Sure.
Contemporary art, particularly after the 70s. I think really you had this adoration sort of contemporary art, and while he's still comparatively late to the party, I would say, his prices at auction have continued to go up and up and up. And when great pieces come up, I mean they're considered great pieces. I mean. Certainly, I believe it's Museum of Modern Art in New York has Persistence of Memory, which is a jewel for them, and that's pretty interesting. A guy who died in the late '80s, having a jewel of modern art is,
right.
I'd say it's
quite a feat.
Yeah, significantly thought of.
Yeah.